Now this is the Bible Touchstone responding to Bobbo345, doing a video series on his remarks against full preterism, and basically we're looking at some Old Testament passages, and a lot of these he's using what we'll see is going to be a disjunctive syllogism, or he'll use verses which he thinks are still not being fulfilled, or still have not yet been fulfilled, and still far apart from when these prophecies were initially given. And we'll see here in Isaiah chapter 13, and keep in mind that Bobbo345 has recommended that we look all these things up in context, and I implore you to do the same thing, and that's actually what we're going to do. Isaiah chapter 13, he appeals to verses 6, 9, 13, and 20. Of course, isolated out of context. Verse 10, for example, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light, and the sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine." Now, what Bobbo345 is positing is that this is some kind of thing that's going to happen long into the future. And he says this didn't happen at AD 70. And I think he's under the impression that full preterists all say that this prophecy was fulfilled in AD 70. But the thing is, you don't even have to be a full preterist to understand that this prophecy was already fulfilled. All of Isaiah chapter 13, all of Isaiah chapter 14, and much of Isaiah, even before the first advent of Jesus Christ. We can see this context clearly framed. Verse 1, "The burden of Babylon which Isaiah the son of Amoz did see." A specific national judgment against Babylon, which actually was fulfilled long before the time of Jesus Christ. And it says, "That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, How hath the oppressor ceased? How hath the golden city ceased? How could Babylon, the Chaldeans, how could they have fallen?" Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" A lot of people think this is about the devil or Satan. But Lucifer is actually a title for the king of Babylon. And if you want to look up Blue Letter Bible like Bobbo345 recommends we do, that's probably a good place to find that out. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 28, "And the year that King Ahaz died was this burden." So we know it's already fulfilled. Isaiah chapter 56, verse 1, and also it says, "Thus said the Lord, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come, and my righteousness is to be revealed." Now we know this is fulfilled by the time of the gospel. Romans chapter 1, verse 17 is a good example. But what Bobbo345's argument is that basically it's a disjunctive syllogism. He's denying the conjunct. He says that he's positing, let's say, 700 years. So 700 years before this prophecy becomes fulfilled, when Paul says it's fulfilled in the New Testament. So 700 years is not near in the sense that he says full preterists use the term. So because 700 years is not near, near does not mean near. Now, this is actually a good way to liberalize the term here. But what he doesn't know is that he's actually denying his conjunct. There's actually another term here, because he's actually affirming a position. His position is that near can mean more than 2,700 years according to his estimation of time. So basically, his first premise is 700 years is not near. And what is implied is, nor is 2,700 years near. So his next premise, his minor premise, near does not mean near, or his conclusion. So because 2,000 years does not mean near, nor does 2,700 years mean near, and he's actually weakening his whole case and his whole argument. He's making actually a stronger case for full preterism by doing this. So it's a logical fallacy. It's not as we see, a lot of these are already fulfilled. I don't think there's a case where he's demonstrated that there's not any kind of association to fulfillment in the first century. We'll look through all of these. Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 33 posits this is long, if it's AD 70 like he's positing all full preterists suggest, it says, "For thus said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come." Bobbo345 doesn't even see that the terms of this judgment are actually in the verse he's appealing to. It's not even in, it is in the surrounding context. It is in the whole passage. But he doesn't even see Babylon is like a threshing floor. This is indicative of contemporary national judgments against Babylon, which were fulfilled long before Jesus in his first advent. This isn't something that full preterists say happened in AD 70 like he's supposing. Again, Ezekiel chapter 30 verse 3. In his initial video, Bobbo345 smiles and smirks about this. He says this can't possibly be fulfilled. You can just see it in how he presented the text. "For the day is near, even the day of the Lord is near. A cloudy day, it shall not be the time of the heathen." Now he's positing that if this was fulfilled in AD 70, near can't be near because it's long removed from the time which this prophecy was given. But this prophecy was fulfilled in the contemporary time shortly after this prophecy was given. Actually near. Because you can't even read Ezekiel chapter 30 without coming to any other conclusion that this means any other judgment than the specific national judgment against Egypt. Even the next verse, "And the sword shall come upon Egypt, a great pain shall be in Ethiopia. When the slain shall fall in Egypt, and shall take away her multitude, and her foundation shall be broken down." It's almost every verse in this chapter that makes it clear this is Egypt and surrounding areas and nations. And that should wrap it up for this one, and I hope to just tie it all up with a last video. As always, great video.